Greetings, Sacred Soul family. Jenna PinkStone signing on. I have a channeled message today and some really healing energy work for someone specific, though because they have agreed to share this with the collective, this is really going to be a healing gift of wisdom and insight for anyone who cares to watch. And anyone who has happened upon this video, know that it was meant for you. Know that Spirit guided and led you here today to connect with me so that we can both connect with Spirit together. So I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes. I have been connecting to her spiritual atmosphere for several days now, and many healing images and intuitive wisdom insights have kind of imbued into my own orb of understanding. I'm going to do some journey work and kind of transport myself there so we can all gain a deeper realization of what it is that they mean. I will begin by saying what this individual's goals are to gain some insight and wisdom into her financial situation, as well as what she needs to be focusing on with her career. Now, I'm not a psychic. I don't really like the word psychic. I think that we all have intuitive and extrasensory gifts that we can tap into, and mine tend to present with natural images from nature so that we can gain some kind of insight and metaphor into what it is that we should be doing. Now, this message is going to speak differently to everyone, but it is a sacred message of healing and wisdom that is significant in what it provides to those who listen. So in reality, you will be searching your own orb of understanding in terms of what this message means to you, and you will be connecting with Spirit for your own deeper understanding so that you'll actually be providing yourself with your own answers. And that is the beauty of being a divine creator here in this worldly experience as a human being. So thank you for joining me today, and if this message resonates with you, I do hope that you'll click the subscribe button and like this video. Let's take a few deep and cleansing breaths. Also, before I get started, I'm going to be holding this during the channeling. This is aventurine. I'm going to bring it up closely so that you can see the different curvatures and the smoothness of its surfaces. So aventurine, this is a stone of opportunity. And it is actually, I was drawn to this. It's been sitting in my windowsill for some time now. And I was drawn to this particular stone, and after looking it up, I found that it is actually a stone that is intended to manifest wealth. And it is it's considered the lucky stone, a stone of opportunity. And it's meant to minimize our anger and anxiety, as well as create opportunities of prosperity in our lives. So this one, I was drawn to this one specifically. I'll be holding it in the palm of my hands so that it can join us and we can tap into the energetic frequencies of healing that it has to offer us today. Immediately, I'm transported back to an essay that I did as a young child, where we had to imagine ourselves as a droplet of water, that upon falling from the sky, what was our journey here on this earth? And this essay initially was intended to be that of an environmental awareness activity or exercise, if you will, that helped us as elementary students to gain a deeper understanding of protecting our world and protecting our environment and protecting our water. This particular exercise, I revisited it. As it was an important experience for me as a child to go through. But I remember it being something very intense for me as a young child. I actually became the water droplet falling from the sky, and this was something I was transported back to upon embarking on this particular individual's soul atmosphere, in learning deeper understanding of the message that I am supposed to impart today. So in becoming this droplet of water and falling from the sky, it became very much apparent to me that we are all droplets of water. We are all falling from the sky, if you will, falling from higher dimensional frequencies as being only a representation of our higher self before it is that we arrive here in our human form, in this experience we've chosen as a one possible trajectory of experience in a physical body, to gain deeper understanding and awareness of wisdom that we are supposed to glean from having kind of a detachment from source and from others and all of the other frequencies that exist, having that experience of individualization, just like a water droplet has when it is disconnected from the greater collective of all the water in the world. Let's give the metaphor of the ocean. Whenever we as water droplets evaporate into the atmosphere, we are kind of one with all water vapor in a cloud type setting. And then when we fall from the sky and we have an experience of separateness, of not being a part of that collective of our natural state of being, it is a lonely feeling. It is an isolated feeling, and yet it is an experience we have much to learn from. Whenever a water droplet travels through the channels of this earth after it has fallen and made contact with the surface of the earth, all of these individual facets of experience are a process of accumulation, of sediment, of transport, of movement. And we all know that water in and of itself is a holder, a vessel, if you will. Even though I am seeing a vessel holding water, the message is that water in and of itself is a vessel, a holder of energy. We've all seen the different properties of water holding energy inside of itself. If that intention of anger or angst or anguish is expressed toward the water and then frozen, so too do the crystals reflect that same energetic frequency. The same goes for meditation or compassion or love. So as the water travels across the contours and the conduits of this earth, what I see are channels, rifts, and valleys. There are different opportunities for the water to absorb as well as to roll. And as it absorbs into rock or rolls down valleys, it accumulates ever more. And these accumulations can be seen as impurities or as traumas, if we're going to connect this to our human experience. Because remember, in this channeling, what I am seeing, we are very much water droplets gaining an experience here on earth from the time from which we fall from the heavens. So gaining some momentum, if you will, some speed of rolling down river valleys. Water droplets inevitably connect with other water droplets. And these water droplets, in connecting with others, there is a memory that is ignited, reawakened, in feeling a part of what we once were. It's a very satisfying, very relief, a feeling of relief that we are not alone. It's the process of finding our soul tribe. This is the natural process that we are all embarking towards in connecting and socializing. We are social creatures. We are supposed to be interacting with others. We are supposed to be living with others. We are supposed to be communicating with others. Our energetic frequencies are supposed to be passed back and forth and shared, and we are supposed to be immersed in the new energetic frequency that is created by the merging of mine and yours. This is very, very clear in the merging of water droplets into larger bodies of water. And as these bodies of water grow, so too do the river valleys. So too do the rifts or the contours of the land as that water travels through these spaces. The earth is forever shaped. The landscape is never the same. The water in and of itself, even though it changes, it grows, it becomes something different the more droplets that are added, but it becomes more of what it was always intended to be, what it never stopped being. That only the mere memory of the singular water droplet was kind of diminished, or it was, it had forgotten. It had forgotten where it belonged, and now it remembers once again. I'm feeling an energetic shift. I see. Okay, so what I've described are all natural processes of how the water travels, how it has always traveled since before the introduction of new and interfering energies on this planet. How, the evaporation of the water into the sky from the ocean, and the falling of it with the rain, and then the gathering, the slow and fast gathering, one and the same, into the river valleys as it travels into the ocean once more. The cyclical process, it was at one point in time interrupted by other energetic forces. And the metaphor that I am being shown here is hydroelectric energy or irrigation channels. It is the introduction of a being that has seen the energetic value of water and what it can provide to the communities of which those beings are a part of, and how to harness that energy for themselves. This is not necessarily a bad thing. It is simply a different energetic frequency of expression with respect to how the water travels and what the water's experience ends up being. However, I am guided to warn that to choose wisely the channels with which you, the water droplet, choose to roll into. Because if you roll into the channel that is smoothest, that is the easiest, that is the most, that provides the path of least resistance, oftentimes you will find yourself in a space that was created for the purpose of harnessing your energy. So if you roll down the path of least resistance, you will find yourself collecting, yes, with other water particles, but in some sense you will be separated, isolated from that natural cyclical process of renewing yourself with back to source from whence you came, and your energy will be harnessed for that of another. And we have all found ourselves on this trajectory path, have we not? It is important to take paths of greater resistance, the craggy rocks, the uneven terrain. All of this is meant to be shaped by the water that you are, by the collective of which you are a part, of which you are finding yourself again. All of this terrain, even if it is difficult to pass through or transport yourself over, it is the natural way, is the way that was always intended for you to travel. And it is the path that is going to help you to glean the most insight into who you are. And even though the struggle will indeed be real, in searching for things to absorb and accumulations to collect, we oftentimes forget that these, although valuable experiences for our learning in this world, are indeed impurities that, if held on to too long, really only serve as impurities for our soul expression, and that will weigh us down along our journey. This message, for me, what it conveys is the importance of seeing our pathway, our trajectory. Our pathway is just as important of an energetic expression as is the money that we are able to accumulate in this world. Both are just different forms and expressions of energy, those we choose to associate with, the route with which we choose to travel. These should not be undervalued, and they will oftentimes litter our world with other forms of energy that we hope to accumulate. I hope that this message was meaningful for you. It certainly was for me. If it resonates with you, I hope you'll click the subscribe button on this video and you'll give me a thumbs up like. I can be connected with further on Instagram or Facebook. Just reach out to me. I'm Jenna PinkStone. You feel free to reach out to me in an instant chat also. I would love to connect and hear your thoughts. Thank you again for joining me, and this is Jenna PinkStone signing off.